Hi, my name is Noah Martin, and today I will be talking to you about the genetics of cancer. What causes cancer? Cancer is a genetic disease that arises from alternations pretty much in the DNA sequence of genes that regulate like cell growth and division. Now, these mutations can be caused by a variety of factors, including like exposure to certain chemicals, radiation, smoking, and genetic predisposition. Now, while many risk factors for cancer have been identified, the exact causes of most cancers are not like fully understood. Now, here are some cancer facts that I wanted to share. Over 19 million new cancer cases and 10 million cancer deaths occur worldwide annually. Now, while some types of cancers can be prevented, like through like lifestyle and other changes in early detection, but others are caused by genetic mutations that are beyond our control. So types of mutations. There are three types that I wanted to discuss. So point mutations. These are modifications, and like these are like changes in a single nucleotide in the DNA sequence, which can affect the structure and function of the protein that the DNA codes for. Chromosomal rearrangements. These occur when large segments of DNA are deleted, duplicated, or translocated to other parts of the genome, which can disrupt gene expression and lead to abnormal cell growth. Lastly, copy number variations. Now, these they refer like in the number they refer to the changes in the number of copies of a particular gene or group of genes, which can alter the amount of protein produced by those genes and affect cell growth and division. Then here's a quote I wanted to share. Cancer, in essence, a genetic disease. In every cancer cell, there are genetic mutations that have disrupted the normal processes of cell growth and division. Understanding these mutations is key to developing new treatments that can target the specific genetic drivers of each individual cancer. And that was by Dr. Francis Collins. So when does it occur? So I wanted to share a truth because cancer can occur at any person, at any time in a person's life. But the risk of developing cancer increases with age. Now, inherited. So certain genetic mutations can also increase the risk of cancer. And these mutations can be inherited from a person's parents or acquired during their lifetime. And then self-caused. So that's pretty much exposure to carcinogens such as like tobacco, smoke, radiation, or certain chemicals, and they can also increase the risk of that, develop the risk of developing cancer. Now, available treatments. So surgery is a common treatment for cancer that involves removing like a tumor and or the surrounding tissue where the cancer is. Then there's also chemotherapy, and that pretty much uses drugs to kill cancer cells or slow their growth, and it may be given by mouth, injection, or infusion. And then lastly, radiation therapy uses high energy radiation to kill cancer cells, and it may be delivered externally or internally, depending on where the location of the cancer is. So, do treatments affect the DNA, or are they only a symptom management? So, cancer treatments can affect DNA in different ways, depending on the type of treatment and the specific cancer being treated. And so, like chemotherapy and radiation therapy, for example, they work pretty much by damaging the DNA of cancer cells, which will either cause them to die or stop growing. While some like cancer treatments may be given primarily to manage symptoms or improve, like, the quality of life, many treatments are designed to actually target the underlying genetic mutations that drive cancer growth and can have like a significant impact on the DNA of cancer cells. So the pros and cons of treatment. So there are, for me, like there's tons of pros, not many cons. So for pros, understanding the genetic mutations that cause cancer can help researcher develop more targeted and effective treatments. There's also like genetic testing can also provide important information for families, which allowing them to make informed decisions about their own health. And, that will be very helpful for everyone in the family. Then there's also, for another pro, advances in genetic research have led to the development of personalized medicine where treatments are tailored to an individual's specific genetic makeup. Now, for the cons, there's not many, as I said previously, but some of them are like genetic testing can be expensive and may not be covered by insurance, limiting access for some individuals. Another con could be genetic testing can also be time consuming, potentially delaying treatment and impacting overall patient outcomes. Now, there's also, many billion-dollar cancer companies will not make as much profit if cures are found at, lower cost and are more effective. So cancer mutation information. So mutation in DNA, mutation can affect one or more genes and may occur spontaneously or as a result of environmental factors such as exposure to radiation or just like certain chemicals. Then oncogenes, mutations can activate oncogenes, which promote cell growth and division, while others can inactivate tumor suppressor genes, which normally prevent the development of cancer. And then for types, just certain types of cancer are associated with specific genetic mutations, such as BRCA1 and BRCA2. Those mutations are in like breast and ovarian cancer. Now, the most common cancer condition. The most common cancer condition is lung cancer. And now that is because like lung cancer is the most common lung cancer for both men and women worldwide. As women, their most common one is breast cancer. Now, however, the incidence rates and risk factors of lung cancers do differ between men and women. So in general, men have a higher incidence of lung cancer than women, largely due to higher rates of smoking. And lung cancer, it is the leading cause of cancer-related deaths in both men and women worldwide. Now, smoking is the most significant risk factor for lung cancer, and that's just important for everyone to know to prevent it. Now, how can we describe lung cancer? So, as you can see in this image, there are two ways of describing lung cancer as like a patient has. And pretty much One way, as you can see, it is histology, or what the cells kind of look like under a microscope is what that means. And the main two types of histological lung cancer are small cell lung cancer and non-small cell lung cancer. And there are three types of non-small cell lung cancer as shown in the image above. The second way to describe what kind of lung cancer a person has is by its molecular profile, or which gene or groups of genes within cancer has mutations. Non-small cell lung cancer. So as previously showed in the above, I want to just go in a little bit more depth. So adenocarcinoma is the most common type of non-small cell lung cancer, and often arises in the outer regions of the lungs. And it is more common in non-smokers, and it is associated with certain genetic mutations such as EGFR and ALK. Then squamous cell carcinoma typically arises in the central region of the lungs and is strongly associated with smoking. It is characterized by the presence of abnormal cells in the lining of the airways. Lastly, large cell carcinoma. And large cell carcinoma is a less common subtype of non-small cell lung cancer and can occur in any part of the lungs. And it is characterized by large abnormal looking cells and can grow and spread very quickly. Large cell carcinoma is sometimes called undifferentiated carcinoma because the cancer cells do not resemble normal lung cells. Genetic mutation. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Genetic mutations found in lung cancer. So far, researchers have identified over a dozen different genetic mutations, sometimes found in lung cancer, and they're continuously looking for more. Right now, scientists have the most information about mutation in adenocarcinoma, which I previously talked about, which is a subtype of non-small cell lung cancer. And researchers are also making progress into understanding mutations in squamous cell lung cancer. Now, the mutations in small cell lung cancer are also being studied at this time. There is the least amount of knowledge about these types of mutations in like lung cancer, but hopefully that does change going forward. So for the conclusion, I did it in a three-part. So the genetics of cancer have already led to significant advances in cancer treatment, including like the development of targeted therapies that can attack genetic mutations in cancer cells. And then for like the future, like research in cancer genetics may lead to the development of even more precise and effective therapies, such as gene editing and kind of like therapies that can boost the like body's immune response to cancer cells. And then genetic testing may also play an increasingly important role in cancer prevention and just overall early detection, which will pretty much be allowing individuals to identify the risk of certain types of cancer and take steps to reduce their risk or undergo early or more frequent screening. Ultimately, which will ultimately like have a better understanding of the genetics of cancer of genetics of cancer, and hopefully hold promise for a future where cancer is no longer a leading cause of death. Now, I did want to end with this quote, as it's very positive, and it's not a question of if we will cure cancer, it's a question of when. And that is by Jack Andrake, an inventor and cancer researcher. And thank you for tuning in. And if you have any questions, please, you can reach me at my email. And then here are my references. And yeah, I'm done. Thank you.